I was. So I've had
Okay.
it, and everything looks good. So we can start. So what we
Yeah.
can do,
Okay.
instead of me doing it, we can have Abby. Do you want to take lead on this? I'll give you the steps, the instructions, and then you can do them. Then you can share your screen and we can do them together, just to keep it engaged, to keep us getting, for a change, so that
Engaging.
yeah, I
Mm.
don't lead the whole of the session.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay. So, Mark, I think we can have you do the. We'll see the next assignment, and then you can take lead on that. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Okay.
will.
So whenever you're ready, Abby.
Can you guys see anything?
Yes.
Mm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So maybe um so did you say you had started on this already, or you were just planning on getting started?
I got like I downloaded what was required and then I added like the files.
Mm-hmm.
But um, yeah, I don't know if I deleted that part, but I was playing around with the code and then I realized nothing was working, so I just had to go back to what was in main. So yeah, but I
Okay.
kept the files that was supposed to be there.
Okay. So just so that we kind of start on a clean slate, because what I have
Mm,
doesn't include in creating a tailwind.config.js file. So maybe we
okay.
could create another branch. So let's go to main and then create a branch off of main. So just for this purpose, to keep it as simple as possible. So you can go to, you see at the top menu, this terminal.
Stop playing. Okay.
Yes. So
Oh,
new
not new
terminal,
terminal.
and then let's do ls. Okay. So we're inside. It's good. Okay. I don't know why we can't see the branch, but we can check. Is it really showing us the branch? No, it's not. This is VS Code, right? Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, because my VS Code at the bottom usually shows. Um, is it? Could you? Is there any part of VS Code that's not showing that's like slightly underneath the screen, or is it maximized completely? Oh no, it is.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think it. Yeah.
okay. So let's do how do we check which branch we're on? Okay, let's do git branch and then dash dash a. No, no, that's not the one. Let's do git branch dash a, just the one dash.
Okay.
Okay. So we are. Why is it not showing where we are? This is interesting. It should have like an asterisk or something. Um, just give me a second. Let me just
Okay.
check how to check the branch I'm working on. Do you have, if you look at plugins, do you have anything on Git that is installed? GitHub, Git, something. So we can go to the, you see on the far left, there's like
But
plugins.
I
Yeah,
think
there's,
you can do this branch then dash dash show dash current.
oh, okay, okay.
Mhm.
But I was thinking also we could just, after that, we can still add some plugins to help with, um, okay, so yours, we are currently on Abby Tailwind, so that's okay. Um, let's, yeah, that's the one. Show current.
Okay.
I don't know which plugins are being recommended on the left though. Do you see the highlights in four, like in blue, like for the plugin icon? Just yes, that one.
Let's see.
No, no, no,
This
near
one?
there. Yes, that's for extensions. Yes, yes.
Okay.
So there are a couple that are being um okay. Do you have anything for Git? If you search Git at the top, you just search Git. No, it's just Copilot and all that. Okay. Okay, it's all good.
Okay.
We can just continue and then you can later on update the ones that were highlighted.
Okay.
Okay, so let's check out to main. So git checkout main. Okay, so you need to, do you want to keep your, okay, we can stash them. So we can do git stash. Git stash. Okay, and then now let's check out again. You can just do the up arrow to the, yes.
Mm.
Okay, so it's saying switched to main, so we're good. So let's do git pull origin main. Let's just pull from main in case there's any changes. There's a lot. Yeah, I guess it's because of the,
Yeah.
I've been approving a lot of the PRs lately. Anyway, now we're good. So let's now branch off of main. So let's create a branch and call it git checkout dash b, and then let's call it uh, demo slash tailwind. Yeah, okay. So now let's start with, I will follow my instructions step by step this time. I will not,
Okay.
making sure we have Node installed. So let's
Mm-hmm.
do npm init dash y. So what it's doing, it's installing Node and then it's initializing it. Like it's saying yes to all the dash y is saying
Mm-hmm.
yes to all the questions that might come up I don't know if you've seen when you're installing something and it's asking you, is it okay if you do this? Is it okay if you do that? So the
Hmm.
dashboard just automatically says yes to all of those questions. Okay,
Okay.
so now let's install Tailwind CSS. Let me copy this. It's a long piece of command. Sorry, just a second. Okay, so I'm pasting it now. Okay, you'll find it in the so in the call. You don't have to leave the yeah.
Okay.
And then if you look at the top, there's a bubble. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah. So actually what we were doing is we were initializing, we were creating the package manager, not necessarily installing. Okay, let's see. Is there some okay, what's going on? Um, it's interesting. Um, so let's check if you have, you should have not installed complete log. Wait, what doesn't exist? Interesting. Um, let's see your version of Node. Let's do Node dash V just to see if you have Node installed. Yeah, you have it. npm dash V just to check again. Yeah. So, is there a space between? Let's try and install our requirements just to make sure everything is good. Let's do pip install dash R and then space requirements.txt. So everything is already there. Okay. Okay. So let's try again and see what we get.
It's the
What
same
is the
thing.
error? What is the error saying exactly? I'm trying to look for the package version does not exist. Could you copy that for me?
The entire era or just one? This one.
No, the entire one. The entire, is it 4 or 5 lines? Yes. Just want to check if, So we can all try and check this. It's I usually just put it in ChatGPT to kind of help me figure it out faster what's going on. But can also just put it on Google, or because I think we're missing something, or it's a margin error. Okay, excuse me. Also, there's a dependency that's asking for a bad version. Okay. Um, okay. So let's update. Let's do pip install upgrade. Um, no, actually, uh, let's do this. You paste the command. So it's not okay. So let's go to the let's go to the node, the package.json file, and then see look for overrides. No, not look for overrides, but um, string with, do control F or command F. So string dash with, yeah. So that's the issue. That's, you know, um, so we need to verify that the package name and version. Um, so that version is 5.1. Oh, the next one, it's the string with dash CJS. So that's 4.2.3. Okay. 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 Just a second. In value dependency set. Okay. Anything? Are you guys finding anything? Anything at all?
Maybe clear the npm cache.
Okay. Um, okay, we can do that. And I've gotten this to remove, to override, and then remove not modules file from package lock.json and then install
Okay.
npm again. Yeah. So now, uh, let's see. Could you give me the 3 lines?
Mhm.
It's yeah, it's sort of the same error, but not fully. Let's see. Okay. I was not expecting this error, to be honest. I don't know why this is happening. I haven't seen this error before. It's interesting. Okay. So there's this other option. So only copy. Okay, let me just remove the comments so that. Okay, so you have 3 commands. Let's just do them one at a
Okay.
time. See what happens. So it's saying we remove the bud direct dependency, and then we remove any overrides that might be there, and then we install it again.
I think it's the same error again. Yeah.
Did you start with the first one, just the npm uninstall string
Yeah.
with?
I'll try again. Yeah, it's the same thing.
Okay, could you copy that for me again?
Hmm.
I don't know why it's happening. I don't know if removing it manually from package.json would sort of give us. Okay, maybe let's try and start afresh. Let's delete the package. Um,
Okay.
yeah,
And just delete the entire file.
yeah.
Okay.
This is interesting. We had package.json in the, yeah, even the Tailwind file. I don't know if it came with. Uh, did we do even that one? Yeah, that file shouldn't be there until we create it. Okay. So now let's do the npm init dash y. Okay, let's go to package.json. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to look. That's basically how it's, yeah, very simple. So now let's try
Mm-hmm.
and do the next step again, which is
Okay.
npm install Tailwind. So if you just go back to your, if you go up, 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 I know it's a couple of steps up, but just go up again. Yeah, that.
This one? Okay.
Mhm. Yes. I think the issue was we had conflicting libraries. Like there, we had
Mm-hmm.
because there was already, okay, we just had issues with the package.json file. There are already some other things that were installed that were conflicting with what we were trying to install, or like it was outdated or something like that. That's why. But
Yeah. Sorry about
that's
that.
no, it's all good. I was expecting that when we branched from main, that it
Mm-hmm.
would give us, because I think main doesn't have. Let me just confirm that. Um, the JSON file doesn't even have that. Uh, main doesn't have. So I think it was cached. Like the no, I can see it has it.
Mm-hmm.
Package.json. Um, no, it didn't. It doesn't have it actually. But it's all good. Now we're right on track. So we were installing it, what we were doing is we were installing Tailwind.css. So the npm install Tailwind,
Mm-hmm.
and then add Tailwind CSS dot slash post CSS. So that's installing it through post CSS, post CSS, and then we also installed it through CLI. That's the last part, post CSS
Okay.
CLI. Yeah. So now what we'll do is we'll add a file at the root. We'll call it now post css.config.js.
So
Actually,
just manually adding it.
yes, dot
Okay.
mjs. My bad. mjs. Yeah.
Post CSS.
Dot config
Mm-hmm.
dot mjs. Yes.
Okay.
And then we will add this. So this one is just directly from, I'll put it in the chat. It's directly from the Tailwind documentation.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. So if you can open Tailwind documentation just for a second, just so that I can show you guys where we are, or like what we're doing with regards to the steps, so that just so that when you're alone,
Do you want me to?
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Is it
S-
this
exactly.
one? Okay.
Yes, that one. So the first one we did that. You see the one we're doing npm install Tailwind CSS, and when we did this. But what we
Mm-hmm.
added at the end was post CSS dash CLI. So we installed it also for CLI. And then now we've just done number two. We've created
Mm-hmm.
that file, and then we've copied the contents to that file. We've created it and copied the content. So now what we're doing is we'll import Tailwind CSS to our CSS
Okay.
file. So copy that. So what this means is we will go to what's our main CSS file from what you guys know our project with our project. What's the main CSS file?
Is it styles the CSS?
Exactly.
But okay.
Exactly. So if you look at it, apart from the other pages that are calling, like the auth page is calling its own, it's calling auth.css, and history, is going to call
Mhm.
history.css. Styles is actually what is present for all all of them, right? It's the
Mhm. Yeah.
main file. So we'll go to the top of the file. So topmost, I think line one. So
Okay.
yeah, yes, and then paste that there. Yes. Now that we have that, we will come and add a few things to our scripts under package.json. So what's the function of package.json? Let me just, ask that so that we understand what we are doing. Anyone? So it helps us build using scripts. So for instance, when we do scroll up just a little bit, scroll to the top. So if we do npm run test, what it's going to do, it's going to run it's going to use node to run. You see scripts and then you see test.
Mhm.
So if you do npm run test, that test will be called, and what that will do is call those commands. No, don't change anything yet. Just control Z.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. I
Okay.
was just trying to explain how it
Mhm.
works. So now this is what you're going to add. You don't even need to change that test script. Just add this 3 more scripts.
So
So
under
go to test, at the end of test, add a comma. So you
um,
have to add a comma and
is
then
it
enter.
mhm.
If you
And
click
then
and
paste?
then paste, yes. So
Okay.
now let's understand what's going on. So we want to run Tailwind. It's a framework. It's a CSS framework, and we need it to be running so that it can make changes to our application when we make changes. So build CSS, what it's doing is it's using post CSS, and it's going to build it from this file, from the styles.css file, and then it will output it to a file called output.css. I know we haven't created it, but the good thing is when we run it, it will create it if it doesn't exist. So it's okay. And then the other thing is it's going to when we run dev comma css, it's going to watch that file. So it's going to go to styles.css and then output when we make changes to when we add classes from Tailwind, what happens is in the background it creates an equivalent of those classes in CSS, and those ones are the ones that are being stored. They'll be stored under styles.css and outputted in output.css, and that's the file that will be watched or monitored for those changes. I know it's a handful. I'll try, and I think the best way to do it is just to continue with the demo and then you'll understand what I'm.
Mhm.
Yes, but that one doing npm run dev uh, colon css, we'll run that and we'll make sure that we watch for it, like we watch that file, the output.css file. And then Flask, I'm just putting it there so that we can do npm run Flask, and that one will run our app in debug mode using port 5001. So I know it's a lot of things, but let's continue the demo, and then I hope it will make sense a little bit later on. Let's go to make a change to the base HTML, and that's, which file is that again? If you guys remember our base HTML file.
Next,
Sorry?
is it index to HTML?
Yes. So I've
Okay.
added a command in the chat. So we need to add this the way we usually do CSS as well. That style sheet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so at the top. So let's put a space after line 6. Let's do enter and then add it there. Okay. So what's going to happen is we are including that output file here, because that's where the styles will be will be outputted to. Okay, let's do, we will do an actual run and then we'll see what happens. So just to
Oh,
confirm before we run everything, are we in debug mode? So how do we do that? We've just seen it with Max, with Edwin's. Yeah, so we're not in debug mode. So what do? We
I think that's
debug equals true. I think you put that. That's good. Yeah, but is it
okay.
supposed to be two commas? Because it looks like two commas. So there is a comma inside of 000, and then there's a comma outside. So I think you should remove the one
It's
outside.
supposed to be just one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just one outside. Yeah. Okay. Next thing is, do you have Docker up and running?
Uh, yeah.
Okay. And is your container up and running in Docker?
Think should be.
Yeah, it's up and running. Cool. So
Okay.
now let's do from the scripts that we've added. What do you guys think we should do? Package.json. Yeah. So let's do npm run dev colon css so that run we can run and watch the, yeah.
Okay.
So that's going to run Tailwind, and then we need to start another terminal. So in the plus sign, yeah, let's do, what do we do for Flask if we follow the same?
Uh,
Mhm.
left one. Oh no.
Let's use the scripts. Let's use the, what would that be if we used npm uh, run dev css? What do we need to do for for Flask? So when we did npm run dev colon css, we were running that script, dev CSS colon CSS script, right? Now we
Mhm.
need to run Flask, the Flask script. What will we do? Anyone?
Hey,
Hi.
I think my notes good cut off, so I think I'm way behind.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, as I was
Yeah.
saying, we were running the scripts. We were using Node to run the app, and
Mm,
we used npm run dev colon css to run Tailwind. Therefore, like it would run the commands for dev CSS. So now we want to run
mm.
Flask in a separate terminal. What commands will we use?
So just Flask.
No.
Mm.
So for us to run, excuse me, dev comma CSS, what did we use for dev colon CSS? What commands have we just used like right now?
Isn't that
Mm.
npm run dev? Okay.
So we used npm run and then the script
Mhm.
name, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So in this case, what will we do if we want to run Flask?
it wouldn't be Flask run and then dev CSS? Or
No. So we're using Node. So it's still going to be npm and then run and then Flask.
Just run. Oh.
Just Flask. So the script, like it's like we're trying to make it easy to run commands by adding scripts, by adding them under scripts. So if I want to run tests and we've added it in scripts as test, how will we run it? What would be the command? It's okay, guys. Like we could just it's there's nothing wrong with saying the wrong answer. Trust me. Whatever is on your mind, you can just say it, and then we can go through it together. So that I'm just asking these questions to test your understanding. So don't worry
Mm.
if you mention the wrong answer or you know there's nothing wrong at all.
Mm. So I was out of the call for almost 8 minutes. So like
Okay,
a lot of things got past me.
okay. So
Um,
let's try. Let me take a few steps back because so when we say what is npm, let me start from there. Or npm info.
node
Any idea?
package,
Mhm. Node
node
package.
package something.
Node package manager. Yes, you're really close.
Okay.
So what it means, it just manages node packages. So so first of all, you need to install Node. You can do it you can go to the Node site and then install, or you can install it from the terminal by using some commands. If you're on Mac, you can use brew to install, but it's not complicated at all. So now you install Node and then you do what we did when we started, which was npm init -y. So we were initializing Node. package manager. We were initializing node. And what happened when we did that? If you noticed, what was created?
Would it be the package.json?
Exactly, exactly. So when we initialized node npm using npm init-y, created the package.json file. And if you notice, it has all the packages for Node. Like it has um, Tailwind, it has Post CSS CLI, it has all those things. So when we want to run commands using Node, we can actually do that using the scripts. Um, the scripts, how do I put it? Section of the, yeah, we can use it. We can use scripts to run code. Like the way we usually do Flask run, is it Flask run or run
Yeah,
Flask?
that's done.
Like yeah, Flask run. Yeah,
That's done.
yeah. Or we do Python run.py or whichever commands that we usually use to run Flask. So instead of
Yeah.
always doing the same thing, like maybe in this case we have specific parameters we always add also at the same time. You can imagine doing that every time you want to run those commands. It can be tedious, it can be hard to remember some things, like you might forget a few things. So to make life
Um,
easy, we add them as scripts. So in our case, for example, that Flask, the one that we've added, is so that when we want to run Flask, we can just use Node. We can use npm to run it, like Node package manager to run it. So what we'll do is just
okay.
npm run, and then we call the specific script, which is Flask. So Flask is
Oh,
the name, and then the commands are after the colon. So when you call Flask, what it does, it calls those commands, that it gets those commands, puts it in a terminal, and then runs
mm,
it. So if you think about it, it's easier to remember npm run Flask. And just remember, this is just npm just means use node package manager. Run just means run,
mm,
and then Flask is the actual
mm.
the actual name for the script. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay. So in this case,
So
mhm,
if you want to run any other script, you can do the same.
you
Just
can
npm.
you can just add the
Okay.
name,
Mm,
and then
mm,
add the commands in quotes, like what you want to run. And
okay.
then every time you want to run it, you'll just use npm run and that name of the script name.
Mm,
So
yeah.
right now we want to run, we want to run Flask. So what do we do? That's what I was asking.
So say npm then run and flask. So run npm run flask.
Yeah, that's it. That's it, guys. It's not, trust me, it's not, yeah. I wasn't trying to trick you, by the way. I was just saying. So what if we want to run test? For instance, if you already installed Playwright and everything and put it in a way on package.json so that we just, makes it easy for us. And the commands are in line 7. So how would we run tests? Anyone? Anyone, guys?
But npm test,
You're missing one command just in the middle.
npm run test.
Yes, that's it. That's what you do. Instead of when we use Playwright, you'll realize there's a couple of commands you need to write just to run the tests for different browsers. So you'll find that it's so much more convenient to have it here in package.json so that
Mhm.
when you want to run the tests, all you just need to do is do npm run test. It's like you're telling Node Package Manager run that script, like run that script name, which is test. In our
Okay.
case, right now we want to run Flask, right? So
Mhm.
what do we type in the terminal? npm. hmm hmm Yeah, that's it. Let's enter. I hope it works. I hope I haven't been. Yeah, that's good. Imagine if after all this and then it doesn't work.
Yeah.
That would just be sad. Okay, so if you click on it and open, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's 5001. Sorry, guys. And where is it? If you look at the at package.json, do you see where that is? Can you identify that? Why it got to be 5001?
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So essentially, it's like we've taken those commands, flask dash app, run.py, run in debug. So what it's saying, run in debug mode, and then in this port 5001.
Mhm.
It's the exact same thing as if you had copied those commands and just put it in the terminal. Actually, we can do that. Just copy from Flask to 5001.
This entire thing, or
Just the commands now,
right
not the
here?
script
Okay.
name. Yeah, yeah. And then let's stop the let's stop that and then paste
Mm.
it. You'll
Okay.
get it's the exact same thing. But now instead of using all those commands, we're just using
Use npm.
npm run and then we're just using the name of the script, which is Flask. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So now let's go to the browser and see. It's running. At least it's running. That's good.
Mhm.
So let's go to index.html. Let's just try and test something. So what we've done is just integrated Tailwind, but I'll show you guys how to make it so that it can
Go back.
reload
Mm.
automatically. So let's scroll down. Let's make a change to I'll still go for the history for line 74. So on line 74, just copy that and
Mhm.
then let's duplicate it. Let's add it just underneath itself. And then you can call it whatever you want or leave it as history. And then we can remove the FA solid, FA. Okay, so at the beginning, just after the anchor tag, just before href, let's add a class there. Yeah. So how do you add classes if you guys remember for Tailwind? Like how do we add the utility classes? Let's go to Tailwind and see.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to practice, right? So let's
Mhm.
say, what do you want to do? Let's say we want to change the color. So now we're done with the installation. Like now we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although you can still see it there. If you look at that example for H1, like what did they do to add their Tailwind
They
class?
had the class,
Hmm.
and then they had the text to display, and then they closed it.
Nice. So the first thing that we need to add is class, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. So let's do that. So can enter. Okay. Oh no, sorry. I
Yeah.
just saw the suggestion and I thought
Okay.
if you had it enter, it would have auto generated the equal sign. So
Mm-hmm.
it's class and then
Is it equal?
mhm.
Yeah.
So now let's test with what do we want to. Let's even use the exact same classes from Tailwind's sample,
Okay.
which was what was the class? So I don't want you to copy it. I just want you to let's memorize the first one.
Okay.
Yeah, the
Okay.
first one, which is
Uh, Text. Is it? Are you talking about what's in the quotes?
no that first class. Like what it is, like the name and so it's text 3XL, right?
Uh,
What's that supposed to do? If you guys remember, or if you can infer from the name.
is it?
The size.
Yeah.
It's the size. But let's
Three,
do
three
this.
times.
Exactly, 3XL. So let's go to the documentation. If you scroll on the left side, no, where you are, see
Mm-hmm.
on the left menu, on the left, yeah,
Oh,
if you scroll down, there should be a place for fonts.
fine.
Yeah, typography. So font, let's go to font size. So now, exactly. So let's scroll down to, do you mind zooming in a little? I am really
Yeah.
working on next training. Okay. So what we saw was that, right? Text
Mm-hmm.
dash 3XL. So let's try and interpret what that means because I think all of us are familiar with CSS by now, right? Like we
I
know.
think that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's see what that means exactly. What it means is we're going to have this 3XL means it's the equivalent of having 30 pixels or 1.87 rem in text size. You remember how we used to do it in CSS? We'd use a selector to select where exactly the thing is going to be styled at, like where if we put the selector there, then that's what is going to be styled. And then we'd use the name. So we'd use font size and then we'd use pixels or rem, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when we do text dash 3XL, it's equivalent to doing font size 30 pixels and line height of 2.5.
Okay.
Mhm. 2.5 over that 1 point. Yeah. So let's add that. Let's just add the that text dash 3XL. Oh wait, it's not. Um, why is it not auto-generating? That's interesting. Okay, so save. Okay, let's go and refresh and see if there's any change. Yeah, you see how big it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's huge. Now what do we want to test again? Let's change the color. I guess we can change the color
Yeah.
of the background. So if you want to change the background, let's go to Tailwind and see how to do that, and then come back so that we know how. So yeah, you can zoom out, and that's under. Is it color? I'm seeing color somewhere there. It's under typography and then color.
Okay.
Mhm. This is not the one we want. We want background color. Yeah, nice. So background color. So if it's background color, what do we need? We need to write it as BG and then the color,
Mhm.
and then 50 is like the shade. The higher you go, the darker it gets. So let's do let's do the red one. Let's do background red dash 50 and see.
So would that be
So how do we add
okay?
more than one class? So you're still inside the class. You should still be inside the brackets in class. Should still be just after L. It's the
Uh-huh.
way you would
Okay.
have multiple classes in CSS. You just put them next to each other.
Okay.
Yeah. So what was the class, if you guys remember? It was B
BG.
mhm, dash.
Dash.
What was it? Red. I think the color
Yeah.
itself.
Right.
And then
50.
50. Yeah. I don't know why it's not auto.
Generating.
Yeah,
Mhm.
because it usually
Mhm.
really helps when it does that. Anyway, let's go and refresh. Yeah, you see it's kind of red, right? You
Yeah.
see the change. So let's do 300 instead of 50. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
that's good. At least our Tailwind is working, right? Now let's go
Mhm.
to the output file. Let's go to our code. Remember we wrote the script we had. It should be checking styles, but then the output file should be yes. So this is where our changes are being made, like they're being put in. So we did the red color at 50, then we did at 300, and then we did, you remember, right? Like we did, and then we did the 3L, like those are the things we've done. If you scroll down, I think it should have so this is where like the changes are going to be recorded, and this is where we are what we are watching. Remember we do in our scripting we did if we go to package.json just for a second, you
Mhm.
remember we did that part and then dash w is for watch, so we're watching that file. So if anything
Okay.
changes, we also make sure it changes on the browser. So now let's also go to styles.css. Let's see if we have any changes with regards to, let's do, because it's a long file, let's control F. Let's do 300 because I know we have some 300 somewhere. Enter again. Enter again. Okay. 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 Anyway, it's all good. It's all good. So I think okay, now I'm solid on what's happening. But yeah, it's creating equivalent CSS files in the output.css, not here. It's in the output.css.
Okay.
Yeah. I really hope I'm not wrong. But if anyone watches this in future and is like, no, 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 that's not actually what's happening, please feel free to correct us. Like we're always open to learning, right? So,
Hmm.
but we at least understand what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now there's this annoying thing of we have to keep refreshing, right? To
Hmm.
to see. Yeah. So let's do you have Prettier installed? Like, do you have the Prettier extension? This is just a side
No.
note. Let's go to the extension and let's install that. Yeah, the first one.
Mhm.
hmm Okay, so let's go back to our code. Okay, so now let's try and make it at least like reload after a couple of seconds so that we don't have to keep manually reloading. And then in future, what you can do is you can have your file on one side and the browser on half of the screen so that you make a change, you can see, you make a change, you see it. Just makes life
Hmm.
easier. So this let's do, this is the simplest way I found. Let's use this command um, to do that. So there's that one. Okay. And then now let's update our package.json by adding the script. So yes, thank you for adding the comma at the end. So yeah,
Hmm.
that's the, you know, yeah. Otherwise it would, there would have been an error. So make sure you, yeah, I think it's saved. So let's run our, this one was the terminal for our Flask app. So what if you remember, what, how did we run the Flask app?
npm run flash.
Yes. No,
It was code.
it's yeah, it's just, it's from yeah. Um, Great. Now before we continue, if you've noticed, so we have installed a package called browser sync, if you remember that command we put in. So,
Hmm.
and then we made a change to package.json, right? What did we do
Yes.
technically? What did we add to package.json?
we added part, and then I guess it would sync automatically.
Yes. So for us to use it, what do you guys think we need to do?
We need the npm run serve.
Exactly.
But,
So now, don't stop that yet. So now
mhm,
we will need to run them at the same time. So what do we need to do? The same thing we did with, we're running Tailwind at the same time as running Flask. So we need to run Sav at the same time. So we need to do what? If you want to run it at the same time. There's no wrong answers,
I don't,
guys. Trust me.
I don't understand. Like,
So, so you see how it was hard for us. Like we couldn't just run Tailwind only. Like we couldn't just run
mhm,
npm run dev colon css alone. We also had to run npm run Flask, right? So that we have Tailwind running, and then we have the Flask app running. So now we also need to have this um, running, this sub running, like the browser synchronization thing running. So if we
mhm.
want to have them running all at the same time, what do we need to do? I promise you guys, it's not. I'm not. I'm not. I am not. How do I? It's not. I am not messing with you guys. Like I am not. How do we put this?
Mm,
Yeah, I'm just trying to test your understanding. So remember, right
mm,
now we are running Tailwind and we're running Flask concurrently. So we just want to run Sav this sync as well at the same time.
Would we create a new terminal and then
Yes,
npm? Okay.
exactly. You see, it was I wasn't messing with you guys. I wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just asking this question so that I just know that you understand what's going on. Because sometimes when
Mhm.
you know what's going on, even solving problems in future will just be easier. So let's do that. Let's do that. And then, so we said npm run and okay. So, so what is this? Is it telling us? It's saying that we can, so it's proxying, it's looking at that port, which is the port where our app is running, right? And
Mhm.
saying that we can find it at port
mm.
3000. Like if you want to find the version that's synchronized, it's at port 3000. So if you click on local, see that, yeah. So let's open that. Let's open it. Um, instead, I really don't like using Safari. It's just,
Sorry. Yeah.
yeah, it's just so we have our 5001, the one for 5. So you need to open another tab. So
Okay.
the sync one, the synchronized one, is on port 3000. So now if you could maybe like just minimize the screen just a little bit so that we see the changes. No, not zooming in or
All right.
zooming out.
Okay.
Like I wanna do the 50-50 or three-quarter. Like
Okay.
I want us to be able to see the changes, like to see if we can actually see the changes.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go to index. Let's go to index.html and make a change. So where were we working? We were at the side navbar. I think it's at the top. Yeah, there
Yeah.
it is. Yes. So now let's change the background from red 300 to blue 300. Now it's a bit more, you don't have to keep refreshing all the time, right? Let's
Yeah.
do, what do we want to do? Anything, guys? I think I'll put it this way. Everyone um, should give us something. Edwin, something. Um, Abby, something. Should also. We can go back to Tailwind and see what options we have. It's actually just there. So what do you guys wanna? What do you want to change or see? So I think this
Let's
is how.
say.
Mhm.
Mhm. Let's say
Yeah.
like box shadow.
Okay. Let's do that. Let's do that and see. So I think this is how we're going to do most of our classes. I'll do something, or I'll let one of you guys lead because I think it's more engaging, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I can see from your how you're engaging with the code. Like I can have a glimpse of what you fully understood or like what you haven't and all that. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
it's better. So which one do you want to use? So small, 2x extra small just means that shadow long. What does shadow LG mean? If you scroll to the right, it just means shadow of that. Okay, LG. Oh, LG, I think it's for large. So which one do you want to use?
Uh, you can just do it. Let's do
Okay,
medium.
medium. Okay,
Yeah.
so let's do shadow MD. If you go to the, I don't know if you can see it. There's actually a slight difference.
Let me see without.
Mhm. Or I was seeing my own things. What if you do the
Large.
2XL? Yeah, large.
That's XL. Okay. So,
Can you see it? It's a little darker at the bottom.
yeah, at the bottom. Okay.
Yeah. Um, what if we do? Is there like a 3XL? I don't know. Just to see. But you can see the difference, right? I don't
Yeah.
think there's a 3XL. So that one there's no shadow though. Is there a
Yeah,
3XL?
there's no shadow.
That's why we kind of need the auto. There's no 2XL. There's no 3XL. So that's
Yeah.
why, yeah.
Okay.
But we can do. Let's do something else. Edwin, what do you
Mhm.
want us to test? Edwin, can you hear us? Abby, you can keep looking and just pick anything else.
Okay.
Yeah. Edwin, can you hear us? I think it's his internet is acting up.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go to the browser first so that you can see the change. And then as it's changing, um, wait, let's do 2XL because I don't think 3XL is there.
Mine is
Just so
there.
that you can, yeah. And then you say, was it font mono?
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Hi, can you
Okay.
hear us? Hi, Murad. So I don't know if it's not making a change because we haven't added those fonts yet. Because
Oh yeah,
sometimes
that's
that's what
true.
you need to do. You need to add it for it to be available or something. I haven't used that yet, but I can look into that. We could try something else. So, Edwin, we're asking
Okay.
if you have something specific in Tailwind you want us to test. Murad, you could also give us something to add to the class to the class to just test it out and see. Let's do something that's very almost obvious, right?
Hmm.
Let's go up and see. Um, sorry about that, Edwin. Um, oh, Murad, you're also having connection issues. I guess today is just that day, right? It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, apologies. But I hope you guys can still follow, even if you can't necessarily say anything. Let's go up to the uh what's let's scroll down a little bit. I don't want columns, I don't want positions, I don't want flex and grid because that's a whole other thing you need to look into. Maybe I could try padding and margin some stuff in there. You could do show more just so that you can see every other thing that's available. And you can actually scroll to the bottom. There's an example at the bottom. Continue scroll. You see that?
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And if you continue scrolling, yeah, it'll show you what they mean. So, yeah. So you won't be starting, yeah, like you will, it's very helpful. Like the documentation
Hmm.
is really good. So what padding
Yeah.
do you want to add? Do you want to do, which one do you want to do?
We could do horizontal.
Okay. Can we tell with the horizontal though? Maybe we could try the vertical
Probably
so that
not. Yeah,
we
vertical. Yeah.
push, yeah. So how do you do that? That one. And so if you guys remember, y-axis,
Mm-hmm.
so it's just going to affect the y-axis. That's the top and the bottom. px is on the x-axis, so it's affecting right and left. And then the number is just by how much.
Okay.
That's just so that you can sort of like easily remember for the future. So let's do
Mm-hmm.
py. Let's do py and then a number. Excuse me. Sorry, Edwin, about your power. It's like just today. It's just that day. It's,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Let's do a bigger number. Let's do 25 or something. I don't know if you can still follow up with us, Edwin, but I'm recording the session, so I'll share this. So what if we
How
do
big of a
PY
number?
25 or 30 or 50, just something really big?
Mm-hmm.
Is there really any change?
No, I don't think I see any.
Yeah, let's see.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it's so small. Let's do 400. I know, it's too much. Yeah. But I'm not seeing it. I am really not seeing it.
Maybe if I do. Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. Um, I hope we haven't messed anything up. Could we try and change the color just so that we see if it's actually, let's do green, see if it's going to change. So that it's like we see if our setup is still working. It's still working. So it's
Mm-hmm.
maybe it's just it's the space. Maybe it's because we have
Oh,
squeezed it
yeah.
that much, so
Mm-hmm.
it can only be so, yeah. I don't know. Anyway, um, let's see with margins. So with margins, it's instead of P for padding, we just do M. We change everything to M. So it's going to be
Okay.
MY, MX. Yeah, same thing. Same thing, I guess.
Yeah.
What if we make the size smaller? So if the text, let's make the text like um, medium. And then let's try again with, so I can see, okay, let's try with MY just to see if, so it's not working. I'm sure there's a reason why. If you
Mm-hmm.
maximize the browser and then we inspect, let's maximize and inspect. So take the cursor. So there's that option of, yeah, that one, and then go to, yeah, click on it. So if we look at the properties, what styles, you scroll down, I think it's being overridden by something, which is, it's okay. There's a high chance that it's still getting some of its styles from, you know, if you scroll to the bottom, there's usually like a box. Um, yeah, Okay. But if you look at it, it's showing that it's getting the styles. Like if you look at the HTML part, like the page part, you can see it has a text MD, background green, shadow, and the margin of 400. You can see it's there.
Mhm.
It's just not being, yeah, but it's okay. Um, if you scroll just in the under styles, if you scroll up a little bit under styles, I think I thought I saw something with 400. That one. I'm not sure what that means. Oh, it's outputting it in CSS. Okay. But it's not necessarily. If you scroll up again, up, oh, I'm waiting to see it. Up, is that the end? Oh, that's the
Yeah,
end.
that's the top.
Okay. So I am. Okay. Let's go back to our code. And instead of putting the margin there, no, actually that should have worked, but it's okay. I think it's also there's a chance there's some conflicting styles that are, you know, there's something with the other styles most
Mhm.
likely. Yeah. So I think that was a good demo, right? Like that was so now we can make changes to our app in you can try and play with it. Just do
Yeah.
as much as you can with it.
Mhm.
Yeah. Do you have any questions? I know we've gone 2 hours straight
Um,
without even taking a break, and I promised you guys that I would be giving you guys breaks, but
mhm.
I am so sorry. Um,
It's okay.
yeah. So what I'll do is I will add the steps. There are 10 steps. I will add them to the previous slide, which was on integrating
Mhm.
Tailwind, so that you all can have um, can be easy for you to just redo the steps if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any questions? I know we're supposed to.
Not really.
Okay. Now we were supposed to go through the. Did anyone manage to look into the AI stuff, like how to implement, or have any more ideas and stuff?
I didn't get to that.
Trust me, I totally get it, and I think I gave you guys a lot of work. To be honest, Murad, did you get to run your app locally? Um, I don't know if you can hear me. Ah, great. That's really good. So now that you can run it locally, we can make changes also. You know, I want to give you a task because we had a guy called Mac, and he's not able to join us right now. So and his work was on categories and profile. I'd like you
Mhm.
to check out his work and see if you can fix a couple of things. I was reviewing his work, and I think there's some things that need to be um, checked out. I don't know if that's too much of a, you know. Oh wait, I actually merged his work. That's interesting. Oh man, I'm sorry. He is not. He is, but he's not active. Actually, you know what, Murad? Um, I actually merged his work even though I didn't. There are some changes that were supposed to be made. Let me put it this way. we can take more tasks in future, I guess. But right now, did you manage to do the Tailwind assignment? Okay, so I can leave you to do that this week, and um, if you get stuck, just let me know. Yes, it's on Google Classroom. Yes. Okay. So I think that's enough assignments. But for this week, I need to talk about just we need to at least talk about what we're supposed to talk about this week, which was finalizing the SRS, the software requirement spec. Do you guys remember where the folder is, the file is? I know it's been so long since we've looked at it. I don't know if I shared it there or hmm, did I share it there? I think I did. If you look at did I share it?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Okay. Then that's also, I thought I shared it through in the first week as an attached file, but what I can do is I'll share it again.
I think it's this one, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
that one. Where did you find it? Is it under
it's this.
ah
Yeah.
nice. So what I can do is I'll still share it again as a post this after the class.
Okay.
Um, but we need to pick two things to implement and sort of like implement it. Did anyone do anything with regards to the new features, the two new ones? I know we didn't have so much time. So, okay. So, what we can do is definitely practice on the tailwind just so that you know how to integrate what's going on, how to use npm and package, how to use package.json,
Mhm.
and then I'll revisit right now. I'll just go through the SRS really quickly so that you
Okay.
guys can know what it's about. And then next week we will pick the two. We'll pick the two ideas. Um, so I know we had voted for uh, smart reminders and duplicate detection. Um, so next week we will try and share that our ideas on those two. I think those are the ones that we picked, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I know for daily motivation, we said we'd put it manually, and
Mhm.
the others we said we would implement, but not right now. But I would say this, like considering the one for daily motivational quotes, we can do it manually. I think we should have that as a new feature, just so that we do something with regards to like adding a new feature. So we can have that as well as the two now AI based features. Okay, so now let me just take you guys through the SRS one more time, and
Do you need me
then
to stop sharing?
yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. Thank you for
Hmm.
that. That was a really good practice on Tailwind. Let me know if you can see my screen. So I'll move this. I will minimize this and this and bring this. Okay, so this is our SRS. I don't know if you guys can see it. Okay, if I need to, I think this is good.
We can only see the call.
Wait, what? Okay, so let me see. Can you guys see it now?
Yes.
Nice.
Yep, yep.
Good. So I think we can just have one file. I don't think we need to have. Ideally, if we are working with in teams, we would have each team, each group with their own name and then the date. But we can just have this one file. And it's mostly because right now we're just trying to learn and understand what it is about, why it's important, and things like that. So this is one of the important things is this, the revision history. So if you make a change, let me put, I can't remember when I made this document, so I'll just pick today. Uh, and then initial draft. Actually, the initial draft was, do you guys remember the first session we had? The date? It was this date, September 20th. Yes, that's the day. So I'll
Okay.
do September 20th. Okay. And then we're going to keep making changes to this. So when we, let's say for instance, we add use case tables, we will just come, whoever has added it will put their name, the date they did the change, and then the reason. Like it could be include use case, include ERD, um, include whatever it is, a functional requirement, and then you just update the version. So we had gone through this before, but I'll quickly skim through it most mainly because of Murad. So this document is like a central piece of resource that can help us understand what the project is about. Excuse me, what the project is about and what it's supposed to do. And then this just the convention allows us to understand how to interpret like the document. So anything with an M is a must, S is a should, C is a could. And we have, this is how we write our requirements. So REQ and then the number and then point something. So the main thing is the functional and non-functional requirements, especially. So for instance, under tasks, you see it's requirement 1.1 and it's an M, so it's a must. Like we must have this feature where we can create a task with fields and it has a table description, due at, or due date, status, which is default, not started, and then a label color. Next thing, everything, it's sort of like all, how is the task, are the tasks supposed to look like? What's the requirement for? How are they required to look or be? or act or behave? What's the requirement for that? So we have for tasks, we have for subtasks, we have for categories, for priority labels, for trash, for user profile, and anything else. Like we could find that maybe we haven't defined a requirement for a specific thing in um, our app, and we can easily add that here. For instance, account or authentication or account management, whichever one makes sense. But we haven't defined that yet. Like how do people create an account? We don't have that yet. So we can stipulate the requirements, like what needs to be there, so that when it comes to building and also testing, we use this document to check, are we building the right thing, and was the right thing built when we're testing. So what I wanted to show you all, so this, please take some time and just go through this, and more for understanding what it is, and also checking, is there something missing, like what I've noted: account management and authentication, it's not there. So I could have that as an assignment for you guys to add. So there's this thing that I added. They're called use case tables. So use cases. So there's usually a use case diagram and this use case table. A use case diagram gives you an overall view of how the system is supposed to look like in terms of behavior, like who does what. Let me do a simple Google search so that you guys can see uh, how it looks like, because I haven't done one for this one, but this is it. I don't know if you guys have seen this before, something like this. It's a good example. Have you guys seen anything like that? Like there's a stick figure with the name of the user, and then these are use cases. Like drive the vehicle is a use case, park is a use case. Are you guys familiar with this?
I haven't.
No,
You haven't seen it yet.
no,
I
I
haven't seen
haven't.
that before. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Happy to introduce you guys to this. Um, Most likely you'll see more of this, especially if
yeah.
you're academia, like you are in school. But it's just good practice to have this, because it helps you
Mm.
understand what the app is doing. So a use case
Which
table.
is
Sorry, sorry.
us
What were you
trying
saying?
to visualize everything. Like
Yes. So sorry. Please continue. I keep interrupting. What were you saying?
visualize. I saying like it helps to visualize how the app would be beneficial.
Not necessarily beneficial, but more like what can the app do?
Mm.
So in our case, I think I will create one for
Oh,
this app so that you guys can understand what how it's supposed to look like, and why, like what's the point
mm.
behind it. It's like a general overview of what the app can do. So for instance, this is an example. I know it's not ours, but once I create one, it will be easier to understand. But as you can see, they have the different users, right? So there's someone um, who's an admin. There's an authorized user, meaning they've like logged in, and then there's an unauthorized user, like a guest user, someone, like you haven't created an account or anything, but you're using the site. So one use
Mm.
case is like browse Q&As. So this means they can do this. For the authorized user, they can post a question, they can post an answer, they can vote, they can review. And then for an admin, they can do this. So in our case, we have create task. So first of all, I don't think we have an unauthorized user, but all our users will need to be authorized, ideally. Okay, this is what we are saying though. Like, because remember, right now we are defining what the app is, you know. So from our functional requirements, we need to log in, right, to be able to use the app. So technically, it'll be an authorized user. Authorized. It's such a I can't remember the word, but the something okay. Because every time I say it'll be an authorized user, it kind of sounds like the first one, right? Unauthorized user. I don't know if you guys caught that, but um,
Yeah. Yeah.
anyway, you need to be authorized to use our
You
app.
have to say employees.
Exactly. Like and no, not saying and twice, more
Yeah.
like I want to mean this. Like you need to be logged in. So you are an authorized user. But every time I say this, it also sounds like this. Like unauthorized user. Okay. So, anyway, you
Yeah.
need to be logged in. You need to have a profile,
Yeah.
right? To create a task.
Unauthorized.
Exactly. Get it. So, um, one of our use cases would be create task. So we'd have the user and we'd have like create task. Another use case would be update profile. Another use case would be anyone complete task. Another use case would be
Um, create
delete.
categories.
Yes, create categories. Another use case,
Mm.
Maybe delete a
Mm,
task.
exactly, delete task. Another one, anyone? There's a couple, but it's okay. If you
yeah.
if you can think of any, you can just say it.
Define priorities.
Sorry.
Define priorities.
Mm, I think that's under. Should we put it as a? Mm, we could. We could actually have it as a use case. Yeah, we could. Yeah, it's not a big picture use case, like, but it's still a use case because you can break it
Yeah.
down and be like, what's the ideal flow? Anyway, so that actually can be just FYI, it can be a use case. But let's use the ones we've talked about, like the like big picture use cases. So
The major
delete
ones.
task, create task, exactly.
Mhm.
What else? Complete tasks, create career, those ones, right? Those ones would come into this bubbles, these ones. And then there's things called include and extend, and those things I'll just talk about them later when we already have our use case diagram so that it doesn't confuse us because you need to understand what it does before talking about. So I won't talk about this include, and there's another one called extend. So now let's take the first, let's say we want to break down the create task use case. So you'd have this, you see the table, we have the ID, task one, and then its name is create task. So what this would include is what does it do? A description. User creates a new task. Title is required with optional description, due date, color label, label color, and categories. Who's the primary actor? Who's the one doing this? It's the user. Precondition just
The
means
user.
what are the conditions? What's happening? What needs to be happening for this to for you to do this? So the app needs to be reachable and the user needs to have access to create task button. Is it add task button? It's add task, right?
Mm.
And the DB is online. We can just say like they can access they are logged in. So let's say user is logged in. They can access that button and the database is online. We could even go to specifics and say, what else are we missing? What else? Okay. But just everything that needs to be there for you to create a task. That's the precondition.
Uh,
What's the post condition if you guys can? I know I'm sharing my screen, you can read it, but it's like what happens, what's the condition after this use case? Like after this has been done.
uh,
So once we create
so
task,
DB should be you,
sorry,
uh,
you said something, DB.
or like the DB should save the task.
So this is it, the persistent thing. So new
I
task.
think the DB should be able to save the task.
hmm
Oh yeah.
So this is how
Uh,
it's coming in. New task but persisted with status not started. And then the task is shown in task list. So the page has it's visible on the list, on the task list. I don't know if we're calling it task list or it's just tasks. Is it just tasks? Yeah,
so I
it's
think
just
the tasks.
tasks. So new task is visible on the tasks page. So that's the post condition. What's happening before and what's happening after. But now we need to break it down. What are the main steps that need to happen so that with this precondition we can get this post condition. So first of all, the user needs to, you can say, before we even create a task form, excuse me, excuse me, the user needs to visit site and log in, right? And then the next thing,
Oh,
they need to, what's the next step, guys?
yeah. Click and open them.
So the
Maybe add the maybe add the details for the test.
before that,
Mm.
um, how what's the step for creating? There's
Click,
one
click,
important step.
Yeah.
Yeah,
click, click the task button. Click the create task button.
add new task button. So click the add new task button and actually that's it. And then the third thing, they enter the details, right?
Details.
Yeah. And then the fourth thing,
The system validation type.
mhm, so it checks if, so if you haven't put something, for instance, if the name is required and it's not there, that's a check. Like you not being able to save, like it's showing you, sorry, like enter the required field is missing, something like that. That thing that you get is a system validation check, or a the system validating the input. Okay, and then the next thing, it makes sense, right? System persists the task by saving it through using SQL Alchemy and saving it to MySQL DB. And then lastly, the system,
Sorry, that's about the tasks.
yes.
What does it mean for it to persist the
Uh,
task?
Good question. Thank you for asking that. What's the term? What does it mean by persistent? Just the term in general.
Just doing something without
the
stopping?
the tasks. Even with
No, yeah, just the term, yes. Doing something without stopping. Edwin, what do you understand by persistent?
gets retained
No, no, no. Just the word
or saved.
persistent.
Something getting retained.
Something getting
Uh,
retained. What about you, Murad? What's your understanding of persistent? The word itself. Please feel free to say something. Yeah, and oh, I've seen it in the chat. Diving deeper in something. Okay. So let's do this. Let's search for the word persistent. Continuing family or obstinately in a course of action in spite of difficulty or opposition. Tenacious, determined, resolute. Continuing to exist or endure over a prolonged period. So when we say that the data is persistent, we say that that thing is there throughout. The way to make sure that it stays there throughout is by storing it, right? Like we will not lose it. If we store it somewhere, it means we can always fetch it and we'll have it. Like we have it in the system. Like no matter what happens, not unless we intentionally delete it, we will always have it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So in this case, system persists task means it takes the information that you've given it to create that task, the task details that you've provided, and it persists it. It makes sure that it's always there and available by saving it in the DB. And in that case, if you want to access that information, what do you usually do? What usually happens? So you've taken the details, you've saved it in the DB, and now we want to access it from the DB. What do you usually do? There's no wrong answer, trust me. It's just a discussion. Anyone? Everyone? Abby, what do you do?
Okay.
It's okay. There's no wrong answer. Trust me. It's just I just want to, because the more you tell me what you know, the more I can know like what I need to talk more about so that we understand what's what.
I guess we just first make sure we're connected to the database, and then
Mm-hmm.
um, I guess you'd create something with SQL, MySQL, and then you fetch the data that you would want.
Fetching is what I was looking for. So Murad, you
Okay.
said you haven't understood the question. So I was saying, when we save something in the database and we want to use it, what do we usually do? And she's mentioned fetching. It can also be termed as querying. You query the data. So if you look at our code, I want us to relate it to what we are doing right now. Remember we have APIs, right? We have I know we used AI to kind of help us generate some things and all that, which is it's okay. But at the end of the day we need to understand what we're doing, right? So let's zoom in. I hope you can see my screen okay. Um so you see this route. This is the one that we use for getting all the tasks. So if you look at it, let's see in index.html, not even here, it's tasks. Okay, so you see, okay, let me go back to the routes first and then we come back. So you see, this is a query. This task is the model or the table, and then we are querying it and filtering it by, for the flag of completed, like that field, it's not false, meaning it's true. And then it's not deleted is false, meaning it has not been deleted. Then we get all of it. This is a query. This one. That's a query. I don't know if any any questions on that. I know it's I don't know if that was vague or that explained what I meant by if we need to get it later, this is we query, and this is it. This is one of the a good example of querying. Any? Is it does it make sense ish
Yeah.
with what we're doing?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we
So,
took the details from the form when you're creating the task, and then
mm,
let's look at the post uh, create task. This is the best one actually. So we took the data, we requested it from the form. We took it, and then title. So we got the type. Let's look at the page. Do we have the create task page? Where is it? Is it in the index page? So this is the button and then add task button. Okay, this is the model. So this is the route. So it's create task. So that is this. I think that's it, right? It is. So we're taking name. Its input is this name. Wait, is this the right? Edwin, you worked on this. Is this the route that you used for creating tasks? Because I feel like it's not really aligning. I think this, let's see, routes.py. Okay, so we have this. Yes, this looks logical. This looks like what we're looking for. Let me try and split the screen so that we can see what I am talking about. Okay, you guys can see this, right? You can see both sides. Okay. Can you see both sides? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we have, this is the form and it's a model, meaning it's like it pops up when you want to use, like it'll pop up. And what will happen is it's the method it's using is a post method, meaning you'll be posting something to the DB. So if you remember, we have post, get, put, update, delete. Post something to the DB. Get, it gets something from the DB. Put, it updates, it makes a change to the DB, to an existing thing. It's somehow similar to update, which updates something in the DB. And then delete will delete something from the DB. So it's using the post method, and the route that it's using is routes, which is, I believe, this. See this blueprint, like this route that was registered here at the top, this one. So it's using this. That's how we know the endpoint. So it's route dot create task. This one. This is the endpoint. So that's the endpoint, that the backend logic that we're using, or the endpoint we're using. So what is happening? We are getting request form get. We're getting the name. See this name over here? This one. We're getting that. and it's required. So we get the name and we store it in this name variable. And then we also go to the form, request, form, and get. So we get the description, which is this one. We get it from here. It comes and it's saved here in the description variable. And then it's saying, if not name, if there's no name, what do? Flash this thing as an error. So it will show you task name is required. And then once you flash it, what do? You reroute it back to this. Okay, Murad. We'll see you next time. Have a good one. Yeah. So it'll flash that error and then it'll reroute you back to the same. So it'll start again from here. And in that case, when it's done that, it's like that's when you see something is required and then it takes you back to the beginning so that you start again. And then so if the name is there, we'll come and create a new task by doing what? So we'll take the model task. Remember we had defined those models before in the models file. We have tasks, subtask, profile, categories, all those. So we'll take that model and then we will now match the model's details to the data that we've been given. Let me open the model file so that we can see. Okay. You see, in models, we have title. We don't have it as name, right? So we match it. We come and say, what we have as name here, we want it to, that's the title and the task. So for description, we'll save it as description under that. For completed, we'll put it as false. This one will be taken in automatically, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. Actually, this one should be false. Oh, sorry. Oh, it can be null. Sorry. Well, if it's nullable, it means you can have it without any data. Like you don't need to provide any data for you to create an object of it, an instance of it. So that's why this one and this one have been left empty. And then this one is going to be, by default, it's going to be false. So even this one, we don't necessarily need to have this, because if we don't even explicitly add the data for it, it will just be false. So we create that task object, and I know we'll talk about objects, and this is one of the things that we will talk about. So it's like we're just assigning whatever value we got in as name, we're assigning it to title. Whatever value we got as description here, we're assigning it to description. And then these other fields, we are assigning them accordingly. And then we're saving that in a variable called new task. And then in our database session, we are adding that new task and we are committing it. So you remember the same way we commit our work, we commit push it, you know. So we're also committing this so that it's saved in our database. And then what do we flash? Like what do we say? We put it on the screen that task created successfully. And then we redirect you back to this page. Route show task. This is another route. What does show task do? Let's go and see. What does show task do? Here. What does it do? It queries all of the, what's this? It queries all of the tasks It queries the task table by ID, takes the ID that was created. Um, this is the new task ID. So when the task was created, we also had an ID for it. And we had assigned it to task ID, this one. Um, this variable task ID. I am so sorry if I'm confusing, but this one will now be used here to query for this, so that it takes you to the individual task page, because that's usually what happens. Actually, you create the task, click the button, put in the details, create it, and it automatically takes you to the individual task page for that specific task. It actually doesn't keep you on the tasks page, it takes you to the individual task page. Did I lose you? Did I?
No.
Okay. Did it make sense? Because I've been
Yeah.
yapping. Okay. Um, so you were asking about persistence. I know I've taken a very long route to do that, to talk about it. But essentially, persistence just means putting it in a place where we can retrieve. Persistence in a system means adding a database to it so that the data can be there, can be persistent, like it can always be available for the system. That's the short version of the answer. I've used so much to describe what you asked, but that's what is happening here. This one is what is happening here. SQL Alchemy to, it's here. It's just this, what we're doing. Yeah, that's it. And then, so this is actually wrong. System redirects you to task detail, um, the tasks details page. So the post condition is actually supposed to um, is that. So okay. Is it okay up to that point? Is there anything that needs clarification?
Yeah, everything's good.
Okay. So this alternative flow, it just means, what if something goes wrong? What should we do? So in our case, we've assigned it to stepwise. So at step number 3, what if something goes wrong? So we have one option. If there's a missing or invalid title, which can come up with step number 3 when you're adding the fields, what happens? The system should show you an error. So the system shows you an error. This could be add missing or make changes to invalid fields. That's it. That's what that should do. So what about at step number 4, when it's actually this should be number 5 now because I made some changes. So what if the system doesn't? save. Something happens and there's a DB error while saving. What should happen? So the system should show you an error and
Mhm.
provide informational um, useful information, then redirect user to um, task page. So essentially what we're just trying to do is create details for if something doesn't go to plan. How is it supposed to act? Like what do we expect the system to do? So these are just this that's why it's called an alternative flow. It's the flow that's not the main one, but it happens once if something goes wrong, in short. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So the frequency is just like how often do you use this? Definitely high. The status
Mhm.
right now, I can't say it's implemented. Actually, I can't say it's implemented or done. And then the owner in this case is just like who's taking responsibility for this. So we could have done in a way like you're the one who's implementing this use case. So we can just have your name there or whoever is supposed to be responsible for that. But right now it's like TBD to be determined. So
Okay.
generally we'll do this for all the use cases. And that really helps you see the understand the flow of the system even before building it, right? Because this comes in before you build the system. I know for us we've already built part of it,
Mhm.
so this comes in before, sort of guides us on what do we want the system to do or behave. Um, yeah. So I hope that kind of yeah, and priority definitely high because it's one of the main things we're doing. So I hope this gave you a good intro to what use case tables are or use cases in general. So there's a use case
Mhm.
diagram and then there's that version of that as a table, which I think is usually very useful because it breaks everything down really. Um, so any questions? I think we're almost done.
No.
Okay. So I don't know if I should add more work for you guys because I feel like we already have the other assignments.
Mhm.
Apart from the Tailwind one, which we've done together, there's the we need to do. Um, guess I can add use case assignment for you all to
Yeah.
just update use cases to the file. I think that's a simple assignment considering we're still looking into the approach for the AI stuff. So
Yeah.
okay, so I guess it's just us, but I hope this was
Yeah.
useful. Yeah.
Yeah. It was.
Okay. Okay. So if you don't have any questions, I guess we can end there.